These remarks are addressed to the imperfect but still striving in the household of faith. As always, my immediate audience is myself. We tend to think of consecration only as yielding up, when divinely directed, our material possessions. But ultimate consecration is the yielding up of oneself to God. Heart, soul, and mind were the encompassing words of Christ in describing the first commandment, which is constantly, not periodically, operative. If kept, then our performances will, in turn, be fully consecrated for the lasting welfare of our souls. Such totality involves the submissive converging of feelings, thoughts, words, and deeds, the very opposite of estrangement. For how knoweth a man the master whom he has not served, and who is a stranger unto him?
Good morning, brothers and sisters. Susan and I are grateful to worship together with you in this Brigham Young University Education Week devotional. In 2009, I delivered a message to the young adults of the church entitled Things as They Really Are, and discussed the spiritual potential and pitfalls of various technologies in our modern world. My remarks today build upon and extend that previous message. We are blessed to live, learn, and serve in this most remarkable dispensation. An important aspect of the fullness that is available to us in this special season is a miraculous progression of innovations and inventions that have enabled and accelerated the work of salvation. Messages and pictures that used to require days, weeks, and months to send and receive now can be communicated around the world in seconds. Social media channels are global tools that can personally and positively impact large numbers of individuals and families. And we do not need to spend inordinate amounts of time creating and disseminating elaborate messages. We and our messages should be authentic, rather than to argue, debate, condemn, or belittle. Edify and uplift. Be courageous and bold, but not overbearing. Following these simple guidelines will enable members of the church around the world to create and share messages that will cause the light to shine forth out of darkness. I invoke this blessing upon you, that you may have eyes to see clearly both the possibilities and the pitfalls, that you may increase in your capacity to use these inspired tools appropriately. Brothers and sisters, what has been accomplished thus far in this dispensation, communicating gospel messages through social media channels, is a good beginning, but only a small trickle. Beginning at this place on this day, I exhort you to sweep the earth with messages filled with righteousness and truth, messages that are authentic, edifying, and praiseworthy, and literally to sweep the earth as with a flood.
We are all brothers and sisters. I imagine that every person on earth has been affected in some way by the destructive spirit of contention, resentment, and revenge. The spirit of envy and hatred has led to some of the most tragic stories in history. Perhaps there are even times when we recognize this spirit in ourselves. We are not perfect. The people around us are not perfect.
Jess! Jess, come on! Mom needs a car! Exactly.
People do things that annoy, disappoint, and anger. Though we cannot look into another's heart, we assume that we know a bad motive or even a bad person when we see one. This topic of judging others could actually be taught in a 2-word sermon. When it comes to hating, gossiping, ignoring, ridiculing, holding grudges, or wanting to cause harm, please apply the following. Stop it.